Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, I saw my doctor, and I would like to share my experience with the office. Before, or at least where I come from, which I'm not saying is the best way, I'm just comparing it. You just show up at any doctor, knock at the door, get in the office, and you wait over there in line until your turn comes. And then you're seen by a doctor, and that's it. But that was in the communist times. And then the services were paid by the government from your taxes that were taken before, and so on. They were that was the system. You didn't have to pay anything and nothing like that. Now things changed over there, and the United States is different. You make an appointment. Let's say I want to see my doctor, and you make an appointment, let's say, for the yearly checkup. And you can make the appointment, I don't know, 6 months in advance. So let's say, or 1 year in advance, or 3 weeks, not 3 weeks because they don't have openings. So it's based on schedule. Okay, so you schedule with them. Okay, I will see you Monday at 3 p.m. on the date of this, okay. Before that happens, before you show up, so the schedule is then, you should just go at the office, knock at the door, enter, the doctor sees you, asks you the questions, props your ass and gets you out. It's not like that. It's like you enter the Pentagon. So the first, you have to have a lot of email communication through all kind of portals, which is you have to have a certain kind of, how should I put it? I put it straight. You have to have a patient, you have to sign in, you have to go through all kind of questions, and then you have a questionnaire. Anything change, blah, 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 blah. So you do this on your time instead of doing it at the doctor's. So at the doctor's used to be like this. You go in front of the doctor, before it's an assistant, and she asks you the questions and you answer them. But that would mean that they have to pay the assistant for the time she will spend with you asking you. So they bypass that, they turn it on to you. So they take out your time to save money. The assistant will not ask you all those 40 questions and ask you this and ask you that. No, they will have you go on your little account in a portal, and you go over there and you answer on your time those things, click for about, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. If you're paid, let's say, $60 an hour, that's $10. All right. So you lose $10 of your time, which is not as valuable as their time. And so the assistant will not, let's say its assistant is paid $20 an hour, something like this, or $30 an hour. Obviously, they saved over there, $5 or something like that. They saved, I lost. Now add that and see how much money they saved. So anyway, the first time you had to go in back and forth, and then you have to confirm. Again, you receive text, you receive emails, do this. It's like going to visit, the Pope or something. And that's just the messaging. Well, it's your time. So you spend, I would say, with all this bullshit, I would say half an hour of your life that you don't get back, and you should not lose it this way. You should lose it, if you want, in the office, but you do it here. And then you have the actual, I will tell you the actual encounter. So I went to the office. When I go over there, it says masks required. Okay? That masks required. And they have little posters everywhere on the freaking walls saying this office requires wearing a mask at all times. Do not remove your masks until prompted by the medical personnel or something like this. And he says at the bottom said, I didn't have my phone with me, and take a picture of that, and says per CDC guidelines, guidelines. Not recommendations, guidelines. If there would be a recommendation, they would be like, well, you had the choice. You had the choice to us. So they dumped everything on CDC. Okay? That's what they did. on the guidelines. No, recommendation. I recommend you, I don't know, go left or right. And it's your decision as a business if you're going to enforce that. But those businesses turn it into guidelines. No guidelines. No, it was not guidelines. You should do this, you should do this. No. Recommendation. I'm so angry, man, with this. Anyway, went over there, spoke with that person over there. She invited me. Obviously, I didn't go with a mask, and it was a pissing contest. I had a mask. The person I went with said, "Oh, you want a mask? I have one mask." No, thank you very much. You can keep your mask. I'm gonna go in, and if they don't have a mask available for me, I'm gonna say, "Fuck off! I'm leaving." Why? I'm good. I don't need you to fondle my balls and stick your finger in my ass. Fuck you, okay? I can do that myself if I want. So anyway, they immediately gave me a mask like a dog. So like a dog, I said, "Yes, sir." And I put my mask and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. They got me in a room over there. Stayed over there for about, again, 10 minutes, 7 minutes. And then the nurse came over there. The medical assistant came over there. She got my pulse, got my something, my finger, my whatever, and then asked me a few questions, and then she left. The doctor will be in. I said about 12 minutes. Remember, this was scheduled appointment. So that everything would be like, I was on time, as always, and nothing happened. I was waiting for, as I said, 12 minutes. 12 minutes plus about 8 minutes, let's say. It's about 20 minutes I was jerking off in the how's that called? Office, whatever you want to call it. 20 minutes of my life plus 30 minutes with a portal, that's almost about an hour of my life. For a scheduled appointment where you just come in, they ask you questions and you finish shit. Now you can say, well, the things that you did on your own time, you could have done in the office by a person asking you and so on. Yeah, but you see, they dumped everything on you. Anyway, then the doctor comes in, and first things first, I don't take medication. Zero. I'm against taking medications for many reasons. One of them is side effects. Because you take a medication for something here, and then that has a side effect that has here, then you take for this, it gets here, and then from here gets here, from side effect from there, gets back here. So it's a circle. And you take a ton of medication, for something that had a side effect that damaged something else, or affected something else, or could have, and then so on. These guys are selling you pills just like this, on the same basis. I'm not saying, Emil, that you have a clinical situation here. No, you're not. But I suggest that, and if it goes untreated, and here comes the scare tactic, like these guys, no, they're just informing us. If untreated, it can turn into, and then boom, something bad, like cancer, or something like that. And that is meant to scare us. Something like I tell you, man, if you go outside with a bicycle, you can hit by a truck, man. You can be rolled over, you die. Oh my God. Yeah, but you're saying, wait a second. From riding a bike in the neighborhood to being hit by a semi-truck, it's, you talk scenarios here. How probable and possible those are. Well, that's my job, to scare me, because he wants to give you those prescribed medication. And they try and say, I'm just gonna do it, and that's my job. Okay. So we got in a little bit of an argument with I'm not an argument, because I didn't push back, because I don't want to get involved in finding another doctor. So it's a cost benefit. Do I want to be right but be without a doctor? Because I don't think the doctor was capable of being so objective and saying, yeah, man, I'm a dumbass on this one. Because this doctor thinks that if he's got a medical doctor, he knows everything about the weather and the Kyokushin karate. He knows everything. No, you don't, as I don't. So you have a narrow, very narrow sphere of knowledge, which is your over there, which some others might know about. Maybe, not maybe, certainly not as deep as you, but certain things you can't fool us. We all know about it. We know how a human temperature should be, we know the physiology of our bodies, we know what the kidneys are doing, we know the relationship between, blood and the pulse and the brain and all. We know things. We're not so idiots, some of us anyway. So you can't just sell me whatever you want to sell me. So anyway, he wanted to push some medication on me, and I said, I don't want that. I don't have a problem. Why? Because about a year ago, I had my how do you call it? They draw blood and all that, and they said, well, you have this too high. I said, okay, I don't think I have it, but let's try it. And he sent me back for some tests, draw blood again, right there to see if that, and obviously it was wrong. So it was like, let's say 200, and then it was supposed to be 25. So this was the difference, like, oh my God. And I was like, I should have felt some symptoms, and I don't. I'm still, so it can't be. Those guys, something fucked up over there, or somebody. So sure enough, I went, I got my tests again, draw blood, came back to the office. Everything is good. If it's, I don't know what happened over there. I tell you what happened over there. Because I worked with these kind of things. With medics, with results, with families, and so on. I know how things sometimes people make mistakes. Their 6-inch nails hit the wrong key on the computer. Click, 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 or they're busy texting, and when they have to put your number, they add a 0 or they add something. I've been in many instances. He hasn't. But anyway, he argued with me because I said, I don't believe those numbers a year ago, they were not right. And he told me immediately, numbers don't lie. And I was about to say, I have an experience of 40 years and numbers don't lie. And I said in my head, well, I have a 30-year experience in working with people very closely, and I know people are dumbasses, and some people are just making mistakes. So I have more experience than you, I think, in that direction, working with people in certain ways, and you have your experience. Well, now we're gonna see who's more experienced in this or something. But I didn't say the number lies. I would say the person is an idiot probably who did that. But I didn't say because I didn't want to look for another doctor. So I said, all right, so that's how he looked at it. Numbers don't lie. Here's a doctor. Well, you motherfucker, numbers might not lie. How you interpret them and who enters them made a mistake. And made a mistake because things were so outrageous, it's almost impossible. And now he monitors me on the fucking numbers, the ones a year ago, looking to see if something is abnormal. And if a little bit goes abnormal, boom, the semi-truck is going to hit you, Emil. Wow. But I'm just suggesting, I know you don't like pills, but why don't we try with this one? So this is my experience with the medics. I know about medics, and I know about medics. My family is full of this kind of people in medicine and doctors, pharmacists, mainly. Okay, so I've been around, and I have connections with medics in the United States, in America as well, and I read about how the American Medical Association works. So I know the connection between pharmaceutical companies, the doctors prescribing certain medication and certain perks that some they fight. They fight for the prescriptions. The companies is like sell Ford instead of GM. It's the same product, but it's just different name. And I'm not going to go deeper in that because I don't want to be called like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., this and that and against. But you do whatever you want, obviously, but I do whatever I want. The problem is, every time, now it's getting even worse every time I go to the doctor, because doctor can't just say things thinking that speaks with an idiot. He knows that, but I think his problem is he thinks I'm challenging his knowledge. Well, I want to be healthy, and if I don't have symptoms, I don't believe anything you tell me. If I don't have any symptoms, that means I'm okay. I mean, sometimes when the symptoms are over there, that means some things could be already fucked up. But he tells me about that symptom that was like, doesn't make sense. For instance, with the weight. Let me put you with the weight. Like any other human being, a normal human being who lives where you have 4 seasons, you gain weight when the temperature drops. Why? Because of physiology. The body senses that and is used to store energy, which is fat, for the winter. So you can, get fatter. You don't have food, scarce food during the winter. then you eat from your little whatever you got in there. Obviously, it's a very simplistic explanation. But anyway, during the winter, I think when you can't be that active, you are more sedentary, so you don't burn the calories unless you work out and you have pay attention. Now, I gain weight during the winter time, especially when Christmas is. It's a lot of sarmale, which is stuff, cabbage rolls. Yeah, I eat that a lot. And have parties and people, so that's when I gain a lot of weight. And then usually in let's say April, May, when things go nicer, I'm more active and I'm fluctuating maybe 20 pounds, 10 kilograms. That's a lot. So I fluctuate. So they caught me with when I was okay in the high, and then I said, oh my God, that has to be related with the thyroid. Oh no, it has to be related with that. Oh my God, see that the results are indicating that. They're not, man. They're not. I'm just fat and I gained. Oh, it's last time I saw you on summer last year. Yeah, when I was, and then you saw me what in April when I was like. It happens all the time. So I know my body in this way. Oh, you gain weight because of that. No, I didn't. And those results were wrong. I have an experience of 40 years. I have an experience longer than that since I've been around more than 40 years. So I know what's going on here. So anyway, my friends, you keep your mouth shut and, do whatever. I'm not challenging the guy, but I can't accept things and I know he tries to push on me. Or at least immediately, take this pill. Fuck off, I don't want that. Nobody tells you, why don't you change your alimentation? Let's see what kind of lifestyle you have. Immediately, I'm going to give you this medication. My first question is side effects. I mean, all those things store somewhere. Going to have a side effect somewhere. But anyway, my friends, this is my experience with these guys. And I thought I should just share it if you care. If you don't, what can I say? Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.